Get ready to enter the Thrive Time Show.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here.
We started from the bottom, now we're on the top. Teaching you the systems to get what we got. Colton Dixon's on the hooks, I break down the books. Z's bringing some wisdom and the good looks. As the father of five, that's why I'm alive. So if you see my wife and kids, please tell them hi. It's the C&Z up on your radio. And now 3, 2, 1, here we go.
We started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get.
All right, we're talking about Public Relations 101, the art of getting your target audience talking. Now, you might notice on your camera that we are here today at the Westin of Chicago, North Shore. We are here. We had a speaking event here downtown at the Knickerbocker Hotel in downtown Chicago. Awesome event we had for the ITPA. It's a group of people that sell trucking parts and help truckers with fixing their trucks and that sort of thing. And we spoke with those people. But tomorrow, actually, we're meeting with the Wall Street Journal. We're meeting with the good folks at the Wall Street Journal. I'm going to share with them a little bit about Thrive and how it works and see if it's something they want to write a story about. And so we thought it'd be appropriate to take a little bit of a time out, a little deviation, to teach specifically Public Relations 101, the art of getting your target audience talking, and why we are choosing to stay in Chicago for a Monday meeting with the Wall Street Journal and kind of how that whole thing works. All of Monday, the entirety of Monday is devoted to PR. And we figured, well, if we're going to spend 20% of our work week in Chicago working on PR, we should probably teach you why we're doing PR. So first off, what does public relations mean? Well, public relations means how you relate to the public, what the public's perception of you is. It's how you relate to the public. So let me just give an example. Let's say that I have a business, and my business is called Tom's Shoes. Have you heard about Tom's Shoes? Have you seen a commercial for Tom's Shoes? Or have you maybe seen them on radio or heard them on radio, or seen them on TV? Probably not, but you know who they are, right? How? People were talking. Does that make sense? People were talking, and so you heard about Tom's Shoes. It's like they didn't necessarily market themselves, but yet you've heard about Tom's Shoes. Have you ever heard a song on the radio? And you heard it for the first time, but everyone's been talking about the song? Well, how did that song take off? How did that song become popular? How does that work? Well, a lot of it is how we are able to communicate with the public in a way to get them talking. So again, Public Relations 101 is the art of getting your target audience talking. And I would say a home run for PR would be Tom's Shoes, a great company for you to research and to find out more information on. And another one that's really done a great is Virgin. That's Virgin Records. That's Virgin Airlines. That's the phones. It's anything that Richard Branson has touched. But Virgin has done very, very, very well throughout the year for PR. Tom's Shoes has done very well over the years with their PR. Again, Virgin's done great with the PR, so has Tom's Shoes. Those are examples of companies that you can look up that are absolute masters of PR. So let's go ahead and get right into the meat of it and teach you specifically what you need to do if you want to know the art of getting your target audience talking as it relates to PR. So before you approach the media, before you even talk to the media, before you even travel to Chicago to connect with your PR firm or the Wall Street Journal, you have to do this first one here. You have to be remarkable to get remarks. You have to be remarkable if you want remarks. What does that mean? Well, as an example, I was flying to Las Vegas about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I was traveling there, and one of the attendees at our conference was on a flight, a JetBlue flight that was made famous, but they had a situation on the flight, and this man tackled somebody on the flight and actually zip tied them up and put him in a submission hold until the plane safely landed. And so he became a hero. He was a national story because he was able to actually save the day. Well, we didn't run a commercial for him. There was no advertising for him. There was no any type of publicity that we did for him. But yet everybody at the hotel was like, oh my gosh, that's the guy who saved the JetBlue plane. Oh my gosh, that's the guy who was on TV about the JetBlue. That's the guy. So yeah, that was remarkable. That was remarkable. That was something that people wanted to remark about because it was just, wow. So how do you know if something's remarkable? If it doesn't make people talk and it doesn't make them remark, then it's not remarkable. Well, let's go into the specifics of the things you can do to become remarkable. One is you could have some sort of charity or cause event. So you could have an event where you're doing a fundraiser for cancer awareness. You're having a big event at your restaurant. Maybe you have a restaurant right now, and maybe traffic's kind of slow. You could build the world's largest something in your parking lot. You could build the world's largest snow cone, like my main man Arthur Greeno and one of our Thrive mentors has done. You could build the world's largest iced tea, like my main man Arthur Greeno has done with his Chick-fil-A. You could build the world's largest watermelon display. You could build the world's largest something. Or you could host this charity cause event. You could have some sort of a car show in your parking lot with all the money going to charity. You could have a professional strength training event. You could have some Ironman, strongman contest. You could do something in your parking lot that could create some sort of cause-based event. That's one thing that is remarkable, and people will talk about it. Okay? And remember, the media doesn't want to cover a story that's not remarkable. So before you even approach the media, you have to do something that is remarkable. The second thing is you want to have big visuals. Now, these are things you can do. It's like and or. You can do this, or you could do this, or you could do this, or you could do this. I'm teaching you the moves. You don't have to do this and this and this and this. It's more this or this or this or this. You get to choose whichever one of these ones you want to do. Big visuals. This sort of ties into what I was talking about. I mean, if you built the world's largest snow cone right there in front of your business, by the way, Google world's largest snow cone, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you'll see this thing. But it's massive. Well, if this is the size of the restaurant right here, and you've got a snow cone that's bigger than the building, I mean, that's huge, right? So people, when they drive by, this is the parking lot, people drive by in their cars, are they going to stop and say, man, what is going on with that Chick-fil-A? Of course they are. And are they going to remark? Yeah. They're going to say, wow, look at that. That's a big old snow cone. Wow. That's a big old snow cone. Some of us have seen somebody get in a car accident before. And what do? We drive and we go, wow, it's a big car accident. And then cars start just pulling over and starting to drive slow. And all of a sudden traffic gets blocked, piled up for hours, right? I mean, because people, when they see a visual, they're like, whoa, wow, what was that? Whoa, whoa. So I don't recommend that you get in a car accident in order to create PR for your company, but I do recommend that you come up with a big visual, some sort of visual that's going to stimulate a big conversation, something big. Now, the next one is juxtaposition. 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 What does juxtaposition mean? Juxtaposition is the idea of taking an existing national story and somehow connecting to it on a local level in your own business. So here's an example. Rosie O'Donnell was at the peak of her fame, right? And then Donald Trump criticizes her and says she's big and fat, and all of a sudden he becomes a national story because she's a national story, and he just said this about her. Another example is President Obama is running for office against Mitt Romney. Okay, so against Governor Mitt Romney versus President Obama, they're running for office. And Donald Trump says, "Show me your birth certificate, President Obama, or I will give, and if you will, I will give $1 million to a charity of your choice. Show me your birth certificate and I'll give you $1 million." Now, not to get political and into the whole thing, the point is he did that though, and he got, again, national attention. Another example, this is one that I actually did years ago. I had the national news that was out there, the national story that was out there was that there was a national story about the first time home buyers tax credit. And this story was on CNN, it was on Fox, it was on USA Today. I mean, this was a big story that here the government was going to give away money for the first time home buyer tax credit. So what I did is I wrote a press release on a local level about the company I worked with called ZFG Mortgage as a consultant. And basically here's how Tulsans could benefit from it. So here's a Tulsa mortgage expert here to talk about this national situation here. So on the news, they were like, today on Channel 6, we have one local Tulsa mortgage expert who's going to be talking about the first time home buyer tax credit. And if you Google Clay Clark, ZFG Mortgage, you're going to find it on YouTube, and you're going to see me as the Tulsa mortgage expert talking about this national story. And we generated tons of business. Why? Because folks were watching TV and they saw this local expert, people right here in Tulsa, Tulsans, were able to see, hey, here's a local company right here that is an expert about this national story because of the power of juxtaposition. Now, the fourth move you can do, this is big, again, if you're trying to do PR 101 and really trying to get in front of your target audience in a memorable way, you're trying to create that conversation with your audience on a national level using public relations, is celebrity. All right? Celebrity. Now, what are we talking about? Well, in our town of Tulsa, Oklahoma, we have a long drive competition, a long ball competition, where whoever can hit the golf ball the farthest wins the prize. Well, Jose Canseco came out to this. And I actually met him at IHOP. It was an outstanding meeting. I was met Jose Canseco at IHOP. Well, there are tons of people that came to this event to see Jose Canseco, the former Major League Baseball player all-star. This guy is a World Series champion winner, Major League Baseball all-star. He's a home run hitter. People all wanted to come out and see him because he's a celebrity. Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, if they go anywhere, it's a celebrity thing. I mean, people are excited to see him. Oh my gosh, they're going to be at Chick-fil-A. We have to see him. Oh my gosh, Jose Canseco's at IHOP. Let's go. It's crazy. So we get excited as people about it. So Michael Jordan with Hanes, people get excited about Hanes underwear because Michael Jordan's endorsing it. William Shatner with Priceline. People get excited about Priceline, the online booking service, because William Shatner is associated with it. So think about in your business, maybe you could get a celebrity to get involved. Now here's an example. One of the companies I've worked with over the years is called Tulsa Sports Charities. Now they're actually an organization, they're a nonprofit organization. And what we did with these guys is that they actually bring in celebrity athletes and then they put on a dinner. So during dinner, the celebrity athletes come and share how they won the Heisman Trophy or what it was like to win the World Series or what it was like to win an All-Star game. And people love to pay. People will pay hundreds of dollars per plate to watch a Major League Baseball All-Star share their story about how they won or what the game was like or what the circumstances were. And that, again, is a PR event. All right, that's something that the media will cover. Here is Jose Canseco coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma to teach us about this or to talk about this. It's huge. All right, the next one here. The next one here is a power story. This is a story where the story itself is like Octomom. That's a story about a mom who had 8 kids simultaneously. That's a power story. That's a story where everyone talks about it like, oh my gosh, did you hear this story? Another one that just blew my mind. And this is totally where Octomom was like kind of a funny story. This is a story that's not necessarily funny, it's just powerful. This guy's name is Keith. And Keith is a 10-year-old kid who literally wrote a business plan using his eyes, only his eyes, because he has cerebral palsy and he's not able to talk with his mouth. So he wrote a business plan with his eyes. Well, that is an unbelievable story. Not only is it an unbelievable story, but it's a story that people will talk about. It's a power story. It's a story that people want to share. And because they care, they want to share. It is phenomenal. It's a power story. Okay? So maybe think with your business, what's your core story? What's a story that your business can tell and to share with others that can really help your company grow? All right? The next one here is we can become an expert. All right? So we can become an expert. All right? The media loves to cover stories with experts. So here's an example. This person, I'm sure you've watched TV before, and you've seen this person is a blogger who is a specialist who is going to be featured on ESPN today to talk about the NFL draft because they're an expert. Or you've probably seen somebody get arrested. And here we have a celebrity attorney talking today about the legal situation, the legal scenario, and what can be done because they're an expert. Or I told you earlier, I got featured on the news because I'm a mortgage expert. Or if you Google Clay Clark and KRMG, Clay Clark, here we have Clay Clark, Tulsa entrepreneurship expert, boom, featured on the news. That's how it works. You want to become an expert in your given field. I'm hoping I'm helping you. That's what has to happen. So the first step here is we have to be remarkable. Again, we have to be remarkable if we want remarks. Michael, thank you for being here. We are on hour 2 of our 3-minute interview.
Hour 2 of our 3-minute.
All right. Now we are going to be talking a little bit about this concept of PR versus marketing. And I want to start off with an excerpt from your book that says, with guerrilla PR, you do not tell the public that your new digital fish cleaner is the greatest invention since the dawn of time. You can easily do that with an ad. Your goal is to lead people to draw the same conclusion for themselves. Otherwise, you're engaging in good old-fashioned or new-fashioned marketing strategy. Talk to me about what is this idea about PR, how PR tells the story versus how you can just buy an ad. Explain that to the average person who has no idea what you're talking about.
Well, we have a kind of humorous way of discussing it in our industry, which is to say that advertising is what you pay for and PR is what you pray for. And what that means is that, if you take out an ad in Time or Newsweek or People or U.S. News and World Report or USA Today or the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, you get a certain cost and the ad has a certain believability by virtue of the fact that it's an ad. On the other hand, if you had a story in the Wall Street Journal or USA Today or the New York Times or the LA Times, its believability would be at a rate of at least 10 to 1. See? Because it would come with the imprimatur or the authority of the Wall Street Journal or USA Today. So I think that is what's underneath the idea that PR, advertising is what you pay for, PR is what you pray for. And today, the world is so cynical. People start with the assumption. They start with guilty until proven innocent, not innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? And so when you educate your customers about the potential value of your product or service, and you do it through the media, you get a believability that is significantly greater than if you do it with, an advertisement.
I want to ask you this. Here's an example.
Oh, sorry. Another better way of saying it.
Well, I want to ask this because because I think if let's say that I am a business owner and I go, okay, if I buy an ad, I can sort of just tell the world what I want them to hear.
Right.
But maybe less people listen.
Maybe.
And then if it's PR, I sort of can't control what the media says, right? I mean, you get more believability, but I can't control it. I mean, is that accurate? I can't control.
I think to some degree that is true. You can't control it completely. But if you have a good story, a good message, and you're transparent, you're authentic, and I think you can put forth a message that can be very effective. And
what is a story as you think about the celebrities that you've worked with? I mean, you've worked with Prince and you've worked with all these.
Again, I'm going back to our topic that we're talking about here, PR marketing. So with PR, you get, it brings forth a kind of credibility that ads don't. What you say about yourself is not nearly as important as what is said about you by others.
Well, marketing, I guess, would be if we bought an ad that told the world how awesome you are, but I'm telling you, I appreciate you being here. So that's going to be a little PR for you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to give you a little boom. Thanks a lot. Jack, we have a thriver today who wrote in, they clicked the Ask the Mentor button, and they wrote this question. How do you balance reaching out to your ideal and likely customers with confidentiality concerns? What's the rule of thumb regarding non-disclosure agreements? So it sounds like they're saying, hey, I want to market to somebody, but I don't want them to steal my idea. How do you do that?
I've been up against that many times,
Okay.
and it's a regular question, and I've got a very consistent answer.
Okay.
Number one, I as an individual never, underline, sign a confidentiality agreement. I don't because I have no idea what the guy is going to tell me. Someone may come by with the same basic idea 2 years later,
Yeah.
and they'll claim I infringed on their idea.
You never do it.
If you don't trust me, don't tell me.
Well, I will say this, in the world of venture capital, which for Thrive, we have some venture capital partners, they won't even talk to you if you try to introduce a non-disclosure agreement. If you're talking to a venture capitalist and say, hey, sir, would you invest in my company?
It's a license to sue.
There you go. They won't even, they'll just say nope.
It makes no sense. But look, someone comes up with an idea. They think it's bonkers. They think it's terrific.
Terrific.
And most likely they haven't done their homework on it.
Yeah.
Which to me is always to check it. Who's done it before? What's on the market like it? Who's buying it? How much success have they had with it?
Yeah.
How much success have they had financing it? There are a million questions, and the odds are if it's a good idea, someone else has had some version of it before.
So if you had to kind of, boil it down, one is we're not going to sign non-disclosure agreements. You won't do it. Most successful entrepreneurs, I would say nearly all successful entrepreneurs won't do it. But then as far as, how do you balance reaching out to your ideal and likely customers? How do you balance marketing your product and worrying that somebody might take it?
Well, I think that's just part of the risks of business. It depends on the item.
Okay.
I separated items in different categories. For example, I may have a patented item.
Yeah.
Well, once I have a patented product, I'm not worried.
Right.
So I'm not going to have anybody sign any agreements. It's
Patented.
It's in the patents. It's there. Then someone else has an idea, but has never patented, nor it may not even be patentable.
Yeah.
And then it has to either go two ways. I've put out enough new merchandise. I've gone both ways. I've had stuff that either how to make it people don't know or won't understand, or there is some kind of patent or something on it. But mostly it's just say, hey, this will sell. Let's get it out in the field. And I say, the decision is to put it out without any patents on it. Make sure I have the best price and the best kind of item, and make sure it's very competitive. And I know there's nobody else doing it right now.
Yeah.
So it's really self-answering. I have for example, in my travels, I would go to China, and they had a new kind of pad that they put silk screening on. It was just wonderful.
Yeah.
I looked and I thought, gee, it's fantastic. Now I got to look at it. Not only who else is going to do it, or who my competition will be, but how tough is it to make? How much turnaround time is there?
Right.
What I wound up doing, you use ingenuity. I recognized I couldn't make it in China because the freight and the time differential would negate against the sales. But I knew it was a hot item.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was done at a silk screening plant with certain equipment. So I looked at my silk screening plants locally.
Okay.
And found one that was very able to make it, but she didn't want to just go into it and make it. I said, okay, tell you what, why don't I buy 50% of your company?
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to put these out. And I did, and it was a dramatic success.
Okay.
And a year later, there were so many copies that a lot of the profit was taken out of it. So I then sold her back, her half of the company, and everybody was happy.
Wow. Wow. So you're...
So I'm looking for solutions. They need not have been done before,
Yeah.
but they are solutions. The other solution is get it out fast, get your biggest distribution, and take your chances. But if you look at business today, a great deal of problems in patents, huge lawsuits between giant corporations.
Yeah.
Apple,
Samsung.
Samsung, totally in conflict with each other.
Yeah.
I have no place in there. I feel I don't want to have any part of that. So either I take it and put it out because I can put it out very competitively and make money on it.
Yeah.
Or I just pass on it.
Yeah.
But I will not sign a confidentiality agreement.
You will not sign a non-disclosure agreement. You will
Never.
not sign a
Never.
confidentiality agreement. And I will just say this, for you who submitted the question and for any thrivers around the planet, I will just tell you, having met with, I'd say nearly 1,000 millionaires throughout my lifetime, I have yet to find one who will sign a non-disclosure agreement ever when discussing an idea with somebody because they just don't know what's in the idea. They don't want to be sued. They don't want you to give you the license to sue them in the future. It just won't happen.
When anybody asks me to do it, and I've been asked many times, I very politely turn them down. I think it's a great idea. I say, but I do not ever sign agreements like this. And they'll say, why? And I'll say, because frankly, I'm giving you a license to sue me. And there are any number of attorneys will take any number of lawsuits today just on contingency.
Yeah. Well, Jack, I appreciate you bringing the knowledge, my friend, and the clarity, because I think you've just simplified a very complex question for a thriver and probably hundreds of other thrivers out there as well. So again, thank you, my friend, and thank you for letting us come interview you out here in your beautiful home in Santa Barbara.
I couldn't be more pleased.
JT, do you know what time it is?
4:10.
It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem, baby. Tim Tebow is coming to Tulsa, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. We've been doing business conferences here since 2005. I've been hosting business conferences since 2005. What year were you born?
1995.
Dude, I've been hosting business conferences since you were 10 years old, but I've never had the two-time Heisman Award winning Tim Tebow come present. And a lot of people, have followed Tim Tebow's football career on the field and off the field. And off the field, the guy's been just as successful as he has been on the field. Now, the big question is, JT, how does he do it?
Well, they're going to have to come and find out because I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, Tim Tebow's going to teach us how he organizes his day, how he organizes his life, how he's proactive with his faith, his family, his finances. He's going to walk us through his mindset that he brings into the gym, into business. It is going to be a blasty blast in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Also, this is the first Thrive Time Show event that we've had where we're going to have a man who has built $100 million net worth.
Wow.
Who'll be presenting. Now, we've had a couple presenters that have had $1 billion net worth in some like real estate sort of things.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've had a guy who's built a service business, and he's built over $100 million net worth in the service business. It's the yacht driving, multi-state living guru of franchising. Peter Taunton will be in the house. This is the founder of Snap Fitness, the guy behind 9 Round Boxing. He's going to be here in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma, June 27th and 28th. JT, why should everybody want to hear what Peter Taunton has to say?
Oh, because he's incredible. He's just a fountain of knowledge. He is awesome. He has inspired me listening to him talk. And not only that, he also has, he practices what he teaches. So he's a real teacher. He's not a fake teacher like business school teachers. So you got to come learn from him.
Also, let me tell you this, folks. I don't want to get this wrong because if I get it wrong, someone's going to say, you screwed that up, buddy. So Michael Levine, this is Michael Levine. He's going to be coming. You say, who's Michael Levine? I don't want to get this wrong. This is the PR consultant of choice for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for Charlton Heston, for Nancy Kerrigan, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestselling authors he's represented, including pretty much everybody you know who's been a super celebrity. This is Michael Levine, a good friend of mine. He's going to come and talk to you about personal branding and the mindset needed to be super successful. The lineup will continue to grow. We have hit Christian recording artist Colton Dixon in the house. Now, people say, Colton Dixon's in the house? Yes, Colton Dixon's in the house. So if you like top 40 Christian music, Colton Dixon's going to be in the house performing. The lineup will continue to grow each and every day. We're going to add more and more speakers to this all-star lineup. But I encourage everybody out there today, get those tickets today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. And some people might be saying, well, how do I do it? What do I do? How does it work? You just go to thrivetimeshow.com. Let's go there now. We're feeling the flow. We're going to thrivetimeshow.com. Again, you just go to thrivetimeshow.com. You click on the business conferences button, and you click on the request tickets button right there. The way I do our conferences is we tell people it's $250 to get a ticket.
Yep.
Or whatever price that you can afford. And the reason why I do that is I grew up without money. JT, you're in the process of building a super successful company. Did you start out with $1 million in the bank account?
No, I did not. Nope, did not get any loans, nothing like that. Did not get an inheritance from parents or anything like that. I had to work for it, and I'm super grateful. I came to a business conference. That's actually how I met you, met Peter Taunton. I met all these people.
So if you're out there today and you want to come to our workshop, again, you just got to go to thrivetimeshow.com. You might say, well, when's it going to be? June 27th and 28th. You might say, well, who's speaking? We already covered that. You might say, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Tulsa, Jerusalem, Oklahoma. And someone says, Tulsa, Jerusalem. I'm really trying to rebrand Tulsa as Tulsa, Jerusalem, sort of like the Jerusalem of America. But if you type in Thrive Time Show and Jinx, you can get a sneak peek or a look at our office facility. This is what it looks like. This is where you're headed. It's going to be a blasty blast. You can look inside, see the facility. We're going to have hundreds of entrepreneurs here. It is going to be packed. Now, for this particular event, folks, the seating is always limited because my facility isn't a limitless convention center. You're coming to my actual home office, and so it's going to be packed. So when? June 27th and 28th. Who? You're going to come. Who? You? I'm talking to you. You can just get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. And again, You can name your price. We tell people it's $250 or whatever price you can afford. And we do have some select VIP tickets, which gives you an access to meet some of the speakers and those sorts of things. And those tickets are $500. It's a 2-day interactive business workshop, over 20 hours of business training. We're going to give you a copy of my newest book, The Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich. You're going to leave with a workbook. You're going to leave with everything you need to know to start and grow a super successful company. It's practical, it's actionable, and it's Tebow time right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem. Get those tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hello, I'm Michael Levine, and I'm talking to you right now from the center of Hollywood, California, where I have represented over the last 35 years 58 Academy Award winners, 34 Grammy Award winners, 43 New York Times bestsellers. I've represented a lot of major stars, and I've worked with a lot of major companies. And I think I've learned a few things about what makes them work and what makes them not work. Now, why would a man living in Hollywood, California, in the beautiful sunny weather of LA, come to Tulsa? Because last year I did it, and it was damn exciting. Clay Clark has put together an exceptional presentation, really life-changing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then. I'm Michael Levine. I'll see you in Tulsa.
James, did I tell you my good friend John Lee Dumas is also joining us at the in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? That Tim Tebow and that Michael Levine will be at. Have I told you this?
You have not told me that.
Oh, he's coming all the way from Puerto Rico. This is John Lee Dumas, the host of the chart-topping EOFire.com podcast. He's absolutely a living legend. This guy started a podcast after wrapping up his service in the United States military, and he started recording this podcast daily in his home, to the point where he started interviewing big-time folks like Gary Vaynerchuk, like Tony Robbins, and he just kept interviewing bigger and bigger names, putting out shows day after day. And now he is the legendary host of the EO Fire podcast, and he's traveling all the way from Puerto Rico to Tulsa, Oklahoma to attend the in-person June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshop. If you're out there today, folks, you've ever wanted to grow a podcast, a broadcast, you want to improve your marketing, if you've ever wanted to improve your marketing, your branding, if you've ever wanted to increase your sales, you want to come to the 2-day interactive June 27th and 28th Thrive Time Show business workshop featuring Tim Tebow, Michael Levine, John Lee Dumas, and countless big-time super successful entrepreneurs. It's going to be life-changing. Get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. James, what website is that?
thrivetimeshow.com.
James, one more time before enthusiasm.
thrivetimeshow.com.
Shine, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with, because it could get dangerous. See these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the world's highest rated and most reviewed business workshops, because we teach you what you need to know to grow.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems, so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
And now you may be thinking, what does it actually cost to attend an in-person 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show business workshop? Well, good news. The tickets are $250 or whatever price that you can afford. What? Yes, they're $250 or whatever price you can afford. I grew up without money, and I know what it's like to live without money. So if you're out there today and you want to attend our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop, all you got to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. And if you can't afford $250, we have scholarship pricing available to make it affordable for you.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. Today I'm broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona, not Scottsdale, Arizona. They're close, but they're completely different worlds. And we have a special guest today. Definition of intelligence is if you agree with me, you're intelligent. And so this gentleman is very intelligent. I've done this show before also, but very seldom do you find somebody who lines up on all counts. And it's a Mr. Clay Clark. He's a friend of a good friend, Eric Trump. But we're also talking about money, bricks, and how screwed up the world can get in a few and a half hour. So Clay Clark is a very intelligent man, and there's so many ways we could take this thing. But I thought, since you and Eric are close, Trump, what were you saying about what Trump can't, what Donald, who's my age, and I can say or cannot say?
First of all, I have to honor you, sir. I want to show you what I did to one of your books here. There's a guy by the name of Jeremy Thorne, who was my boss at the time. I was 19 years old, working at Faith Highway. I had a job at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. And he said, have you read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad? And I said, no. And my father, may he rest in peace, he didn't know these financial principles. So I started reading all of your books and really devouring your books. And I went from being an employee to self-employed to the business owner to the investor. And I owe a lot of that to you. And I just wanted to take a moment to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to achieve success. And then I'll tell you all about Eric Trump. But I just want to tell you thank you, sir, for changing my life.
But not only that, Clay, thank you, but you become an influencer. More than anything else, you've evolved into an influencer where your word has more and more power. So that's why I congratulate you on becoming. Because as you know, there's a lot of fake influencers out there too, or bad influencers.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm glad you and I agree so much, and thanks for reading my books.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thrill for me today. Not a thrill, but recognition is when people, young men especially, come up and say, I read your book, changed my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York. Acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
Whoa. Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business. And I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I'm not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
Once I saw what they were doing, I knew I had to get here at the conference. This is probably the best conference or seminar I've ever been to in over 30 years in business.
You're not bored. You're awake, alive the whole time. It's not pushy. They don't try to sell you a bunch of things.
I was looking to learn how to just get control of my life, my schedule, and just get control of the business.
Planning your time, breaking it all down, making time for the F6 in your life, and just really implementing it and sticking with the program.
It's really lively. They're pretty friendly, helpful, very welcoming.
I attended a conference a couple months back, and it was really the best business conference I've ever attended.
At the workshop, I learned a lot about time management, really prioritizing what's the most important.
Biggest takeaways are, you want to take a step-by-step approach to your business. Whether it's marketing, what are those 3 marketing tools that you want to use, to human resources.
Now, some of the most successful people and successful businesses in this town, their owners were here today because they wanted to know more from Clay, and I found that to be kind of fascinating.
The most valuable thing that I've learned is diligence, that businesses don't change overnight. It takes time and effort, and you got to go through the ups and downs of getting it to where you want to go.
He actually gives you the roadmap out. I was stuck, didn't know what to do, and he gave me the roadmap out step by step.
We've set up systems in the business that make my life much easier, allow me some time freedom.
Here you can ask any question you want. They guarantee it'll be answered.
This conference motivates me and also give me a lot of knowledge and tools.
It's up to you to do it. Everybody can do these things. There's stuff that everybody knows, but if you don't do it, nobody else can do it for you.
I can see the marketing working, and it's just an approach that makes sense.
Probably the most notable thing is just the income increase that we've had.
Everyone's super fun, it's super motivating. I've been here before, but I'm back again because it motivates me.
Your competition's going to come eventually, or try to pick up these tactics. So you better, if you don't, somebody else will.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live 2 years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
If you decide to not attend the Thrive Time workshop, you're missing out on a great opportunity.
The atmosphere of Clay's office is very lively. You can feel the energy as soon as you walk through the door, and it really got me and my team very excited.
If If you decide not to come, you're missing out on an opportunity to grow your business, bottom line.
Love the environment. I love the way that Clay presents and teaches. It's a way that not only allows me to comprehend what's going on, but he explains it in a way to where it just makes sense.
The SEO optimization, branding, marketing. I've learned more in the last 2 days than I have the entire 4 years of college.
The most valuable thing that I've learned, marketing is key. Marketing is everything.
Making sure that you're branded accurately and clearly. How to grow a business using Google reviews, and then just how to optimize our name through our website also.
Helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google.
The biggest thing I needed to learn was how to build my foundation, how to systemize everything and optimize everything, build my SEO.
How to become more organized, more efficient.
How to make sure the business is really there to serve me as opposed to me constantly being there for the business.
New ways of advertising my business as well as recruiting new employees.
Group interviews, number one. Before we felt like we were held hostage by our employees. Group interviews has completely eliminated that because you're able to really find the people that would really be the best fit.
Hands-on how to hire people, how to deal with human resources, a lot about marketing, and overall just how to structure the business, how it works for me, and also then how that can translate into working better for my clients.
The most valuable thing I've learned here is time management.
I like the 1 hour of doing your business is real critical if I'm going to grow and change.
Clay really teaches you how to navigate through those things and not only find freedom, but find your purpose in your business and find the purposes for all those other people that directly affect your business as well.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everyone needs to attend the conference because you get an opportunity to see that it's real.